The first Whole Foods market opened in Texas in 1980 with a staff of 19 people. It is now an $11 billion chain, making Fortune's list of best companies to work for 15 years in a row. Co-founder and CEO John Mackey is one of the authors of a new book, Conscious Capitalism, Liberating the Heroic Spirit of Business. John Mackey is here in Studio 57, and we're pleased to have him. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So tell me what you know about making a business a good place.
Good place to work?
Yes.
Well, first you have to care about the people that work there. It has to be an important priority of the business. One of the things we discovered at Whole Foods that if you want to have a successful business, first you have to hire good people, make sure they're well trained, that they're happy in the workplace, they take care of the customers are happy, the business flourishes, and the investors are happy. Everybody's happy.
But you know, in your book, Conscious Capitalism, that I think is so fascinating, you said companies must have a higher purpose than making money. And most business people say, yeah, but I also want to make money.
They need to do both. My body can't exist without producing red blood cells. If I don't make them, I'll die. But the purpose of my life is not to produce red blood cells. Business needs to make money, but it can have a higher purpose. Just like doctors heal people, teachers educate people, architects design buildings, businesses can also exist with a higher purpose.
You're the CEO of a company that has changed the way we look at foods, whole foods. I mean, you've brought organic foods and other stuff into the mainstream, if you will, of the marketplace. What do you think is the biggest threat to our food supply?
We continue to eat terrible food. We eat junk foods in America. We're now 69% overweight, 36% obese. It's primarily because we eat bad diets, unhealthy processed foods.
Mm-hmm. You are a vegan.
Yes.
Yes.
So what happens when you get a craving, John, for a burger? What happened?
I have a veggie burger.
Okay.
How has it changed your life?
Yeah.
How has...
Being a vegan.
Yeah.
I'm much healthier. I've lost weight. I almost never get sick. Have high vitality. I'm probably going to avoid a lot of diseases like heart disease.
Downside?
Is there a downside? It's sometimes difficult when you visit people at parties. They don't know what to feed you.
Yeah. But let's talk about the evolution of Whole Foods, because you started out, it was called a play on the words of Safeway.
Safer way.
It was Safer Way. And you had a life-changing event with Whole Foods way back in the day that really sort of changed your life.
You're referring to the flood we had?
Yes.
Austin had its worst flood in 100 years back in 1981. Our store was 8 feet underwater, and we were bankrupt. That was our only store. We showed up for work the next day, and we had dozens and dozens of customers and other neighbors in the community come there and help us clean up the store. So all of our stakeholders pitched in. Our banker loaned us more money, our investors put more money in, our employees worked for free, and we were able to get that store reopened in 30 days. Changed the way I think about business.
Let's turn now to the issue of Obamacare, because as a CEO now mandated by President Obama's health care initiative to cover all healthcare employees, you have compared that to fascism. Why?
Well, I think that was a bad choice of words on my part. I regret that.
Really?
Because, yes. Because it has
First you referred to it as socialism, then fascism. So what is it now?
Well, it has that word has an association with, of course, dictatorships in the 20th century, like Germany and Spain and Italy. But what I know is that we no longer have free enterprise capitalism in healthcare. It's not a system any longer where people are able to innovate. It's not based on voluntary exchange. The government is directing it. So we need a new word for it. I don't know what that right word is.
Well, I'm not just less concerned about the word, but why are you so opposed to Obamacare? Why did you use a word like that?
You know, I'm a businessman. I'm a capitalist. I believe in the free market. I believe in letting people voluntarily exchange with each other for mutual gain. So I think innovation is going to be reduced.
Here's an interesting quote from a New Yorker profile of you. The man who has perhaps done as much as anyone to bring the natural foods movement from the crunchy fringe into the mainstream is also a vocal libertarian, an orthodox free marketer, an admirer of Milton Friedman, Ronald Reagan, and Ayn Rand. In the 2008 presidential election, he voted for Bob Barr. Ron Paul wasn't on the ballot. That expresses your political philosophy?
I am a conscious capitalist. I believe in free enterprise system has lifted humanity up over the last 200 years, grubbing in the dirt. We're prosperous, and I believe that's the best solution to most of our problems, including healthcare.
You know, most people think that healthy eating means expensive. And when you go to Whole Foods, you admit it's a little pricier than other grocery stores, although you have great tuna fish salad with the cranberries and the orange juice. But what do we have to do? What is your thinking on how we can bring the prices down? That it doesn't have to be You know, you're saying it doesn't, you know, healthy eating doesn't have to be expensive, is a point you're making.
Well, there's a myth out there that the first thing is we're spending only about 7% of our disposable income on food today. That's the lowest it's ever been.
Yep.
I mean, 50 years ago, we spent over 20%. 100 years ago, we spent close to 50%. So we're not spending that much. Of course, everybody would like to spend less. But the truth is that a healthy diet that's based on whole foods, whole grains, beans, fresh fruits and vegetables, if you know how to cook, is not very expensive. I cook. I don't spend that much money on food because the healthiest foods are not the most expensive foods. The processed foods are what are really expensive. But you'll need to know how to cook.
Discount at Whole Foods?
I do get a discount.
Yeah.
John Mackey, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
John.